right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. I have my young panelists here in studio. Every Friday we give them a chance to air their views on matters of national importance in their own way, in their own view. The biggest question we always ask them is what kind of leaders do they want, because the future really belongs to them. As we speak, there's a continuous voter registration by the IEBC. 6.3 million is the target. So far, dismal performance as a start. It's just been 2 days, so we can always improve. We have some of the young people here in studio. They'll tell us whether they're registered voters or not. Let's start with introducing them from the top side. Ongoya Fidel Castro, Youth Leader Safina Party. Thank you very much for making time. Next to him is Mavis Nekesa, Gender and Welfare Coordinator, ACSAP Kenya. Thank you very much for making time. Next to her is Odanga Pesa, Secretary General, Agano National Party. Thank you very much for making time. And then we have Anthony Sankale, Youth Empowerment Activist. Asante sana for making time. And then we have Christine Maina, Vice President, JKUAT. Thank you very much for making time. And Victor Kiprono, CEO, Zero Barefoot Campaign. Asante sana for making time. I'll start with you, and let me first take just a quick look, and I'll start with Nekesa. Are you a registered voter?
I am not a registered voter, and I'd assume you'd ask why. We are in the plan of registering, and we do not register as one person. So on this coming week, we are registering. I come from Bungoma, so the association in Bungoma, we are going to register as a group of people. That will raise the morale of people registering, other than having individuals going one by one.
So you want to do it as a group of people?
Yeah.
Why not do it as an individual?
As an individual, the impact is not felt as much. You know, we say, if you want to walk fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with other people. So that is the saying that we have come up in working with the saying.
Okay, so you want to do this as a team?
Yeah.
But you do realize that only counts during the election time, not at registration point, right?
No, the fact, what you're saying right now, there's this thing about influence, and people like being influenced. Let's say the truth as it is. So once you're seeing Nekesa and the team, they have gone, utasikia pia wewe the morale of going and doing the same. So it's more of like motivating other people to go and do the same thing, other than me alone going. There won't be that much felt impact as if we are a group of people.
Okay. Christine, are you a registered voter?
Not yet. I am yet to register as a voter, but I'll go register myself as a voter. The IEBC are still taking in new people, so I will do it in the future, maybe next week probably.
Why? What's the delay?
At times schedule, according to the IEBC, they've said that they will be taking in new registers from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And at times it has only been running for 1 week now, and my week has been a little occupied, and I've not yet gotten time, but I'll go register myself as a voter.
Do you have any concerns with the IEBC?
Right now, not yet. They have just started right now. I do not want to maybe associate them with maybe the previous propagandas I've had before. I am trusting the process, and I believe that it's going to be fair and transparent.
Okay. Fidel, are you a registered voter?
Yes, I'm a registered voter.
Okay.
The great city of Nairobi. And
okay.
I think that as a party also, because I'm highly associated with Safina, we are engaged in a vigorous process of ensuring that we take in the youth who are large in number. We have 70% of our population electorate, which are youth. But you know, with the target of registering 6.3 million voters, we are not going to achieve them with the high numbers, mainly because of two things. We have youths are facing apathy, disillusionment, thinking that if I vote, then my vote will not count, because it's something that has happened during the previous elections. And then we also have a situation where a youth will rather go and hustle than take his time to go and line up to take a vote. So as a party also, in what we are doing, this week we are doing voter registration in Embakasi. Next week we will have almost 1,000 students at the University of Nairobi line up for registration at their various places. So I think I'd rather say this. At the university, I'm a law student at UON. We say that as youth, one of the things we suffer from is political masturbation. And why I'm saying political masturbation is we have highly, during the finance bill, been raising out our concern, saying that Ruto must go, Ruto is bad. We have been saying one term. It's our term for the solution. What solution are we offering? Our solution is to register as voters. First, you get your ID, enter into a political party, register as a voter, and then now vote in your preferred candidate. So as a youth leader at the party, I think you should not have an excuse of not registering as a voter, because it takes less than 10 minutes to register as a voter. So failure to register is failing to plan on your next leader. So if we don't do it now, then there's no tomorrow.
Okay. I'm still trying to relate to your political statement with what...
Let me explain in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And this is from a scientific point of view. Someone who masturbates...
Watershed hours, let's just... Yeah. Let's take that on at that point. Let's see what else is going on here. Let me bring in Sankale. Sankale, are you a registered voter?
Yeah, I'm a registered voter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have confidence in the IBC?
Well, I come from a movement called Sauti Mpya Gen Z Gen Zote movement.
Okay.
And our aim first is to mobilize the youths to register as voters. Not only registering them as voters, but as well doing civic education. Because what I've come to understand is that people take voting exercise like an activity, and yet that is the time to decide for your nation. So you'll find like, as when we are fighting the president, the executive, the judiciary, most people don't understand the 2010 constitution. They don't understand the role of our leaders. Like an MP is an important person in our country. It's like the engine of this nation. So we are going country to country, ward to ward, county to county, making sure we have educated our people. The moment you have educated the voter, while you are mobilizing them to register as voter, you are empowering them. And they say knowledge is power. And the constitution inasema that power belongs to the people. So by 2027, when we are going to vote, we want to make sure that people understand the role of each and every leader. Because Trevor, when we were on the streets, June 25th, it's because the MPs passed the finance bill. Some were absent, but today they are siding with us. By the time we wanted them to represent us in parliament, they were absent. At some point, we started hearing that they were given 30 million stories, and today they want us to elect them. We want to make sure we have educated each and every voter across the country. Wasipige suti, because kupiga suti nayo ndio inatuleteanga hii shida. You will vote for a person because of a party. He will be loyal to the party, not loyal to the constitution of Kenya, not loyal to the voter. So we want to make sure we have educated everybody as Sauti Mpya Gen Z Gen Zote movement, and I'm the national coordinator.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective, and we'll talk about that, the kind of leaders to elect and what they stand for, and whether the party politics will still play a big role, and whether the people really remember the past. You see, I know there's a lot that you mentioned in terms of the finance bill, but we'll see what happens with that. Odanga, are you a registered voter?
Yes, I am, for sure.
Okay, but do you have confidence in the IBC?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So going forward, what is the plan? Because you can hear from what the young people are saying,
yes,
that there's a bit of an issue with parties and whether the people will be loyal to the party or to the constitution and to the people.
Thank you, Trevor. I think there's a common terminology out there in the politics where they say Kenyans easily forget. And sitting here, I've listened to fellow young people, and we had young people coming out in June to change the political discourse of this country. And I think the way my brother has said is, he said political masturbation, that's the term he used. In this sense, I mean the urge and the perception young people had to see the right leadership. This is the best time to exercise it by ensuring they participate in this voter registration. Waiting to be influenced to go as a group, to me, it already indicates that we young people are not taking this process seriously. Because for you to be able to bring the right leadership you want, this war will not be fought on the street. It will be fought in the polling station with your voter's card. So if you are waiting to see a group, what about those who will not be motivated to go to register? So it's a call to each and every young people that, because to me, I understand the opposition in Kenya currently are the Gen Z and the young people, because they have brought in new dynamics of politics. If we don't harness that power by having the tool we need for war, then we'll end up saying we need to be influenced to register, we need to be influenced to vote. That's how by the time we are still dilly-dallying, we'll get into election, somebody who we do not want to be voted in, and we'll have to live by that consequence because we are waiting to be influenced. So I think my urge, and even from the Agano party, is can we young people get out and have the tool for war? The tool for war, not really for wars per se, but our tool of engagement to put in the right leadership is to have that voter's card. Don't wait to be influenced. Come out because it's your civic duty. Number two, the wars and the challenges we had in June, we can only put it right this time around by being a voter. Because if you look at the election dynamics of 2022, we had close to about 8 million young people who never voted. And now we are looking at IBC trying to bring in another 6.3 million. So that's a whole 14 million that if we have the right tool, we can determine who becomes the president of this country. We can become who becomes the senator and all that. So I think my urge is let's not wait to be influenced. You know, that's why I said Kenyans forget easily, is because we just came from June and right now we have already forgot even the war we fought and we are waiting to be influenced. I think the experience we had in June should not be pushing you to wait. You should just come out and go and register. And the question you asked about the party and what, that's why I said for the first time the young people brought in a new side of politics. That is not about your party. It's not about your tribe. It's about what you stand for as a leader. And therefore, the only way to exercise it, can we have the voters' card so that come that time, we can vote in people, not in a suit, but based on what do they stand for and their character and how we have seen their life. Do they demonstrate that if given that chance, they are going to be doing what they are telling us? So that, you know, we are not just shouting 1 term and 2 term and you don't have the paraphernalia to use in the election time. That time when it comes to 1 term and 2 term and you don't have the tool, you'll be a waste to us as young people. So I think these are a call to every young person that let's come out. Don't wait to be influenced. Don't wait to be organized. Don't wait for anybody to influence you. Come out and get the voters' card so that 7 million in the last election plus 6.3 million now, that will be 13 million votes. You can't joke with that number. Nobody can. That is the opposition. Okay. Those are the people, if they decided they are voting for Trevor today, he will be the president. Okay. Doesn't matter. And we've seen candidates who have come up and this one wants to vie for president. This one. The time is yet. Let's have the statistics of the voting patterns. And I think I would say let's not take this matter lightly. This is a serious matter because if you say that you're not going to register because you are going to hustle, that's the same way I've been complaining, that I would rather not go and vote and go and hustle. That's how bad leaders get into office and you still continue that hustle you're not comfortable with. The time for us to put the right leadership is now. Let's come out and register to be voters. Thank you. Okay, I'll give Christine and Nekesa a chance to respond to that in a short while, but let's hear what Victor has to say. Victor, are you a registered voter yourself?
Yes, I'm a registered voter in Soi constituency, Uasin Gishu County.
All right. Do you have confidence in the IBC?
Yes, I do have the confidence with the IBC.
Do you think this is the time that the young people will change the leadership of this country, or will it remain the same?
I believe this is the right time for the young people to change the leadership. But then when we usually say, when things remain the same, when we think things are changing, they remain the same. Trevor, I'm really saddened this morning because of what my young panelists are saying. In June 25th, we saw the hashtags. We saw people being mobilized. We saw a real clamor for change. And I will really want the same urge to come back so that you go register and become a voter. You see, I've seen this in football, and mostly Arsenal fans, where they make the largest noise, but 11 people are playing in the field. This game now is a different one, where in politics, there is a relationship between people who make the largest noise and people who don't vote. And in this context, you see the young people make the largest noise, the loudest noise, but they don't take their voter and vote. When you go to Ushago, and in the village, and I usually give this example, in the villages, you will find all wazes and they will take their voters card and keep it. And on that fateful day of voting, they will just go and vote and come back home. The young people, they will shout, they will make all the noise, but then when it comes to the real thing of taking the voter's card is when you hear the stories of my schedule, is when you hear the stories of I'm going to hustle. But if today, Trevor, we announce that next week on Tuesday, there is a maandamano, everybody will be hashtag, I'm ready for Tuesday. But then the point is, as the young people, can we be the change that we wish from others? Can we be the change that we wish? When you say, for example, you're fighting the president, when you say you're fighting the executive, what are you fighting? If you're fighting bad governance, this is the right time to change that bad governance that you are saying you're fighting by taking a voter's card. I'll give a case study. We recently had a by-election in Baringo County, and we had a contestants of more so the young people. And we saw a young guy by the name Chemitei who triumphed and became the nominated senator for UDA. And the majority of the voters who participated in that by-election were the young people, because the young people were feeling like we want a young person to take up leadership, and they voted in a young person. This is the same thing that will happen. If you feel like in that ward level, you need a young MCA, you need a young MP, it is your time now to take a voter's card and change that leadership. Leadership will not be changed even at the presidency level. You know, people think that when you change the presidency, or rather the president, is when you change the country. Even at MCA level, we've seen even areas where MCAs are not even able to read. We see in the last impeachment motion for Kericho, there is an MCA who literally doesn't even know how to vote. They were voted in because of the illiteracy level. The young people, can we take up those chances and even take up those capacities to change our leadership from the ward levels, from the MB level, from the senatorial level, from the governor level, so that when we come to president, now we are changing the entire system. And the only right time is this. And the IBC are saying it is a continuous voter registration. I have only one problem, and this should be addressed by the IBC. I have received a lot of concerns from my young people from my constituency that the voter registration exercise is being done at the constituency level, where, for example, in my constituency, you have to travel all the way from, for example, if you are the farthest end of the constituency, you have to travel to a particular point for you to take a voter's card. And sometimes it is a distance of maybe 200 shillings, 400 shillings. And it is a challenge that IEBC should address, even if making it at a ward level or trying to make it reachable to the young people, even if making it rotate around the constituency so that it can reach a lot of people, at the same time making sure that a lot of people get accessibility. We are struggling with the young people not having access to resources, and we want to encourage them to take their voters card. It is due to IEBC, because they have the budget, to make sure that these kids reach the ground. You know, we are areas where it is not accessible. It is time now, because they have the budget and government has given them an autonomy to do their things. So that even in the streets, we can even have the booths in the street. They need also to be creative. I urge the IEBC to be creative. If they are listening to me, let them be creative. Let them try to entice even the young population, even by taking it to universities for the people to take their voters card. You have heard my sister talking about the schedule in universities. If you can become creative enough and even take this to universities so that young people can come out and take this voters card. I know there are issues of where to take it, but you need to be creative. We are dealing with a current situation and 21st century, as my brother is saying. We need to be creative in how we do our things so that a lot of people can be registered. Okay. And if you can do it online, then the better. Okay, I have to take a quick break. When we come back, we delve into that issue, and I know Nekesa and Maina have been on the receiving end on this one. We'll find out why they're still taking time and what that group mentality is all about. We'll allow you to explain what you meant by waiting for many people to come, and yet it's not election day, it's getting registered. We'll talk about that in just a short while, but keep your views coming at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Daybreak. See you in just a bit.